there. And today we are going to be doing a little bit of a library haul. Because I recently went to the library and I just went fucking nuts. So I figured might as well go ahead and do a library haul and what I'm going to be reading over the next couple of weeks. So yeah. We're going to start out with what I'm currently reading now, and that's Set on You by Amy Lee. I've always wanted to read this one. I've always saw it at Barnes & Noble, and I just never gotten it. So when I saw it at the library, I was like, oh my god, we're going to start this. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm currently on page 117. Hopefully that will change later, and I will read more. But right now, that is the page I'm on. So this one's about Crystal Chen, who is a fitness instructor, she does fitness on Instagram, so she has like this Instagram that she basically posts tips, tricks, motivation for people to work out. And clearly she's like a curvy girl, so it also has to do with like breaking the stereotypes of fitness, all like the harmful things in fitness culture, which I admit I know little about, but simply because I am not a fitness person, I do not work out, I just don't. I am just a girl. I stay away from that stuff. And then she meets Scott Ritchie, who goes to the gym, and he is kind of just like an asshole to her, because he just basically steals everything that she's trying to work out on and use, even when she's clearly standing right there. So he's really just like an asshole in the gym, whatever. He's hot. However, he is a firefighter. And it turns out that their grandparents are getting married to each other, so they have to, like, deal with each other on a regular basis at this point at the gym and during family occasions. So basically, they're fucked. And then, that's as far as I've gotten. But it is a romance. I think it is YA. I am unsure. But so far it's really cute. I'm not enjoying it yet, but I will get there, maybe. So I'm excited to see where this goes, especially because I've been wanting to read it for such a long time. So yeah. Next up, we have Katie Kennedy's Hearts on Thin Ice. I believe this is a standalone, and it is a hockey romance. Now, I love hockey romances, so I'm reading it, basically, because I'm ready to fall in love with another mediocre white man. Because why not? So it says, Nick Sorensen had once been one of the fastest men in hockey until the devastating plane crash that took the lives of his best friends, leaving him the only survivor. Now he's physically ready to get back on the ice, but his coach is concerned Nick isn't doing as well mentally as he says he is. Case in point, Nick's apartment is completely empty apart from a single chair and a mattress on the floor. To prove he's fine, really, Nick hires Alyssa Compton, an up-and-coming interior designer, to decorate his space. Alyssa's thrilled at the chance to prove herself to her demanding boss. With job security at last, maybe she can finally put roots down and create a home for herself, too. But Nick turns out to be infuriatingly stubborn and impossible to work with. Just when Alyssa decides to throw in a towel on the whole thing, Nick shows up for her in a way she could have never expected. The icy path ahead of these two lost souls may be slippery and cracking, but when it comes to love, sometimes all you need is someone on your team. So I'm excited to read this one too, simply because I love hockey, guys. And after reading the Off-Campus series, which was the first hockey romance-related thing I've read, I've just been in love with sports romance and slowly branching out of hockey. But this is a hockey romance. I'm slowly moving into basketball. But yeah, excited to read this one. I think it's in third person, though. Yeah, it's in third person. That's the only concern I have, because it has to be really, really good for me to like third person. So we'll see where we get through with that one, but I don't know. Next up. Okay, so there's a backstory behind why I got this one. I've been wanting to try Stephen King, and I got Billy Summers. Haley Pham really liked this one, so I wanted to read that one simply because of her, and also because the guy I'm talking to right now is reading a Stephen King book, and he likes his work. He recommended him to me, even though I was like, I'm not like a suspense thriller type person. He was like, I still think you'll enjoy it, so he was the reason I picked this book up. And also because of Haley Pham. There was other Stephen King books there, but this was the one that I knew was liked somewhat. I didn't recognize any of the other titles, so this is where it went with that. Now this is huge, but it only has like 500 and something pages, so hopefully I enjoy it, and hopefully I'm not bored, and hopefully it doesn't put me in a reading slump more than I already am. Okay, so next up we have Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I think it's the Belladonna series. I'm not sure as far as what it's about. But we can read the synopsis. Orphaned as a baby, 19-year-old Signa has been raised by a string of guardians, each more interested in her wealth than her well-being, and each has met an untimely end. Her remaining relatives are the elusive Hawthorns, an eccentric family living at Thorn Grove, an estate both glittering and gloomy. His patriarch mourns his late wife through wild parties while his son grapples for control of the family's waning reputation, and his daughter suffers from a mysterious illness. But when their mother's restless spirit appears claiming she was poisoned, Signa realizes that the family she depends on could be in grave danger and enlists the help of a surly stable boy to hunt down the killer. However, Signa's best chance of uncovering the murderer is an alliance with Death himself, a fascinating, dangerous shadow who has never been far from her side, though he makes her life a living hell. Death shows Signa that their growing connection could be more powerful and more irresistible than she ever dared to imagine. So definitely trying to branch out a little bit with the thriller / paranormal. So yeah, that's what that one's about. I am positive it's in a series. Don't know what the second book's called. But this one, since it came out, has been on my TBR. But, of course, we'll have to see how that goes, since that's not normally my thing. Now, this one was just one I picked up. I don't know anything about it. I liked the cover, though. And it's really pretty with all the flowers on it. It's called Bad Romance, and it's by Heather Demetrios. And it's a romance. Grace wants out of her house where her stepfather wields fear like a weapon, and her mother makes her scrub imaginary dirt off the floors out of her California town too small to contain her big city dreams, out of her life and into the role of a Parisian artist, New York director, anything but scared and alone. Enter Gavin, charming, talented, adored, controlling, dangerous. When Grace and Gavin fall in love, Grace is sure it's too good to be true. She has no idea the relationship will become a prison she's unable to escape. Deeply affecting and unflinchingly honest, this is a story about spiraling into darkness and emerging into light again. Now, I know nothing about this other than what the synopsis says, but I'm going to try it and see if this is something I would be into. I can heavily relate already to what is written down in synopsis, so we will see how I react to that. Now I got a few Lucy Score books in here too. I have Things We Left Behind because I still need to finish the series. And they had it, so I was like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and get it because I need to finish the series anyways. And this one is the romance between Lucian and Sloane, which has been teased throughout the entire series of, what's the series name? What's the town? What is it? What is it? I don't remember. I don't remember what the series name is, but it's Things We Left Behind, which is this one. It is Things We Never Got Over and Things We Hide from the Light. And we were basically teased with these two relationship. I'm hoping it lives up to the excitement because this is the only book that I was really looking forward to in the series for reading. I did enjoy the first one. The second one, it didn't hit with me. But hopefully things turn back around for this one. Okay, next up we have Maggie Moves On, also by Lucy Score. I believe this is a standalone, which I kind of want a standalone from Lucy Score because I haven't read a lot of her books, but from right here, it's kind of mixed opinions for me with the series because I liked the first book, but I didn't love it. Second book, I didn't like it, and this one I still need to figure out what emotion is to be had. But this one, I figure, okay, standalone, let's go ahead and try it. I believe this is one of her more recent ones. So, yeah. House flipping sensation and YouTube star Maggie Nichols can't wait to dig into her next challenge. Arriving in tiny Kinship, Idaho, with only a cot and a coffee maker, Maggie is prepared to restore a crumbling Victorian mansion in 4 months or less. She has her to-do list, her blueprints, and her team. What she doesn't have is time for sexy, laid-back landscaper Silas Wright. The man takes flirtation to a whole new level, and he does it shirtless, sometimes pantsless, and he and his service school dropout dog are impressively persistent. But she's not interested in putting down roots, not when fans tune in to watch her travel the country, turning dilapidated houses into dream homes. A short-term fling, on the other hand, could fit nicely into her calendar. After all, Maggie remembers what fun is like vaguely. As her summer gets downright steamy, Silas manages to demolish the emotional walls she spent years building, sending Maggie into a panic. He's the wrench in her carefully constructed plans. With the end of the project looming, she has a decision to make, but how can she stay when her entire career is built on moving on? So we'll see. Of course, I would say mixed feelings on Lucy's Score, but we will see because, yeah. Alright, next up we have XOXO. I liked the cover, it was very pretty. That is the only reason I got this one. I don't even think I read the synopsis when I got it. But it was in the teen section, so I checked the teen section first and then I moved to the adult section. Yeah, so this one is about Jenny didn't get to be an award-winning classically trained cellist without choosing practice over fun. That is until the night she meets Jae-woo, mysterious, handsome, and just a little bit tormented. Jae-woo is exactly the kind of distraction Jenny would normally avoid, and yet she finds herself somehow pulled into spending an unforgettable evening wandering Los Angeles with him on the night before his flight home to South Korea. With Jae-woo an ocean away, there's no use in dreaming of what could have been, but when Jenny and her mother moved to Seoul to take care of her ailing grandmother, who does Jenny meet at the elite arts academy she's just been accepted into? Jae-woo. Finding the dreamy stranger who swept you off your feet in your homeroom is one thing, but Jae-woo isn't any student. Turns out he's a member of one of the biggest K-pop bands of the world, and like most K-pop idols, Jae-woo is strictly forbidden from dating anyone. When a relationship means not only jeopardizing her place at her dream music school, but also endangering everything Jae-woo's worked for, Jenny has to decide once and for all how much she's willing to risk for love. Now, I'm not into K-pop, nor, I like Blackpink, but I'm not heavily into the K-pop industry, I guess. I only listen to a few songs of them, and that's as far as that goes. But I do like the idea of falling in love with like a pop star, singer, songwriter type thing. So hopefully this is good. Hopefully it's good for me. Hopefully I enjoy it. Alright, now we're getting into our LGBT picks of the library. We have Never Ever Ever Getting Back Together. No, Never Ever Getting Back Together. Now, I know this is Taylor Swift coded, and I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, so please do not expect me to have any knowledge of anything reading this. So basically, this is a sapphic sapphic read. We'll just say read. And I have been recommended this on TikTok, which is iffy for me. It's an iffy place for me to put my recommendations from on. But it was there, so I was like, okay, we'll give it a try. I don't mind either gay nor lesbian romance. I like it, but is it my favorite thing in the world? No, I do prefer, I don't know, it's just me. I'm male-leaning bisexual, so, like, for me, in books, I prefer to read about a man and a woman falling in love, because that's my preference. However, I don't mind reading sapphic novels. I actually enjoy it, but it's not, like, something I do often. So basically, the only thing I know about this one is basically it's a dating show for this guy. Both of these women go to the dating show to meet with this guy. However, they ended up falling in love with each other. So basically, that's an interesting concept in itself. I don't think I've ever seen a book that had that concept before. So that in itself is already, like, a great idea, right? I've never read anything by this author Sophie Gonzalez, but I do see some familiar names on the backside for the reviews. So yeah, I'm going to read this one and hopefully going to like it. I believe it is YA. Now from the same author plus another, Kale Dietrich. And this is another sapphic, not sapphic. Is gay. It's gay. We'll just say gay. I don't know what to say. It's If This Gets Out, which has also been on my TBR for a very long time. And I believe it's a boy band. Yeah, you're in the most popular boy band in America, and all you want is a boy singing next to you. So they're in a boy band together. So 18-year-olds Ruben Montez and Zach Knight are two members of the boy band Saturday, one of the biggest acts in America, along with their bandmates Angel Fan and John Braxton. They are teen heartthrobs in front of the cameras and best friend backstage, but privately the pressure to stay in the closet has Ruben confiding in Zach. On a whirlwind tour through Europe with an unrelenting schedule and minimal supervision, as the two come to rely on each other more and more, their already close friendship evolves into a romance. But when they decide they're ready to tell their fans and live freely, Ruben and Zach realize they will never truly have the support they need. How can they hold tight to each other when their whole world is coming apart? So yeah, we're dipping in a little bit to the LGBT. I don't understand how I do this. I myself am part of the community, and I can't, like, fucking speak for shit, and I keep fucking everything up. But that's just because I'm nasally, and I'm allergic to my cat, I believe. But I love him so much that I won't get rid of him. But I just can't focus when I feel like my sinuses, like, I don't know. Oh, I'm tired. Okay, as I said, I love the idea of singer-songwriter romance. But obviously this one will be a little bit different because it's boy band and they're both in the band. To which I'm used to either a girl being in the, like, a singer and falling in love with the commoner. I say commoner because I used to watch We're in High School Club, and that's just the way I think of it. Or the boy being in the, like, a band and then falling in love with the regular girl. So that being said, that is the last book, I believe. Yes, that is the last book. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know how I'm going to read 10 books in 3 weeks with the way I've been reading lately, but, you know, we're going to get there. Anyway, if you guys want a reading vlog for any of these books, let me know. I might do a reading vlog for the Stephen King one, solely because that is, like, a huge author. And a lot of people are interested in what he writes. But I don't know how I'm going to react to it. We will have to see. Yeah, all of these books are due on October 5th, but hopefully I can renew them. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go ahead and start trying to finish Set on You, and I will see you guys in the next video.